Taurus, there's a vibration in your palms that you've never felt before, as if your body knows something your conscious mind hasn't yet processed, as if every cell in you is preparing to receive something monumental that's coming at the end of October. There's a convergence happening right now that's so rare, so specific to you, that it's literally not happening to anyone else. It's not an exaggeration. It's not poetic language. It's a mathematical truth of the universe. All the seeds you've silently planted over the past few years are about to sprout at once. All the sacrifices you made when no one was looking. All the times you chose to keep building even when you didn't see immediate results. All the hours invested in projects others considered a waste of time. All of this is converging to a single point at the end of October. As a Taurus, you know all too well the feeling of planting and waiting. You understand that good things take time to materialize. But what you didn't know is that there's a specific moment when everything planted ripens simultaneously, where all your invisible efforts become visible at once, where the world finally sees what you've been building in silence for so long, and that moment is marked on the cosmic calendar for you, the end of October. It's not about a single event. It's about a sequence of recognitions, opportunities, and manifestations that will happen so close together that you'll feel as if the universe has finally decided to reward you for all your patience. As if all the doors that were closed open at once. As if people who never noticed you suddenly see your worth with crystal clarity. You've been carrying heavy things for a long time, Taurus. Not just practical responsibilities, but also the weight of not being seen for your true worth. The weight of working hard, while others with less merit receive recognition. The weight of building solidly, while others achieve quick results with shortcuts you know won't last. And this weight has been pressing on you in ways no one around you fully understands. But there's a universal law that specifically governs your sign. Everything built solidly, with time and genuine dedication, eventually manifests itself on the material plane with a force that nothing can shake. And when this manifestation happens, it doesn't come small. It comes like a wave that carries you to a completely new level of existence. The end of October marks the beginning of this wave, and it's uniquely yours because no one else has planted exactly what you've planted. No one else has waited with the same patience. No one else has built with the same solidity. The results you're about to reap are unique because the process you've experienced has been unique. Over the past few months, you've probably felt a growing sense of frustration, a feeling that you should be further along than you are, that your efforts should have yielded more visible results, that perhaps you were doing something wrong because you weren't seeing the progress you expected. But what you couldn't see was that everything was falling into place behind the scenes. People were noticing you in ways you hadn't realized. Opportunities were being prepared without your knowledge. The universe was arranging every piece in the right place, so that at the end of October, everything would reveal itself at once. For Taurus born between April 20th and April 30th, this convergence will manifest itself primarily in the professional and financial spheres. You'll finally see the concrete materialization of projects that seemed like they would never get off the ground. For those born between May 1st and 10th, the focus will be on personal recognition and validation of talents you've kept hidden. For those born between May 11th and 20th, the convergence will bring leadership opportunities and positions of authority that you've always deserved but were never offered before. But regardless of the specific field, all Tauruses will experience the same feeling, that the world is finally aligning with what you always knew you deserved, that your natural abilities are being recognized for their true worth, that the time you invested in building solid foundations is finally bearing the fruits you've patiently waited to reap. There's something profoundly special about being a Taurus at this particular moment in history. We live in a world that values speed, celebrates instant results, and rewards shortcuts and superficiality. And you, with your nature that values quality, solidity, and slow-lasting construction, have often felt out of place, as if your way of operating were outdated, as if you should be faster, more superficial, more willing to take shortcuts. But the end of October will show you why your way was always the right one, why building slowly and with quality always wins in the end, why solid foundations sustain structures that endure when everything around them crumbles. You'll see people who took shortcuts facing the consequences while you reap the rewards of doing things the right way from the start. Taurus, I know you've built so much in silence that sometimes you wonder if anyone truly sees the value of what you do. I know you've invested time, energy, resources, and love in things that others consider too slow, too laborious, too complicated. I know you've carried the weight of doing the right things, even when no one applauds, even when there's no immediate recognition, even when you feel invisible. And maybe this is the first time someone is telling you that all this effort wasn't in vain, that all this patience will be rewarded, that all this silent construction is about to become impossible to ignore, that the world is finally ready to see what you've been working on while no one was paying attention. I need you to recognize the value of what you've built now. Leave a comment saying, "I've built so much in silence, and finally, it's time for the world to see it." This isn't arrogance. It's recognizing your own worth. It's you honoring your effort, your dedication, your persistence. It's you preparing to receive what you've always deserved, but which took so long to arrive. And when you write this, you're helping other Tauruses recognize their own worth, preparing to reap what they've sown. What makes the end of October so special isn't just that good things will happen. It's how they happen. It'll be as if the universe has saved all your rewards and decided to deliver them all at once. As if every effort you've made that didn't yield immediate results has been noted, saved, and accumulated. And now it's time for full recompense. You'll receive proposals you never even imagined were being considered. You'll discover that people in positions of power have been talking about you, recommending you, and opening doors for you without you even knowing. You'll come across opportunities that seem to come out of nowhere, but are actually the direct result of impressions you made at times you no longer remember. There's something powerful about being underestimated for so long, and then surprising everyone. And that's exactly what will happen to you. People who saw you as just another person, as ordinary, as nothing special, will suddenly realize they were completely wrong. They'll see talents you've always had, but they were too blind to notice. They'll recognize qualities that were always there, but that they never appreciated before. And the beauty of this is that you won't need to prove yourself. You won't need to make convincing speeches or sell yourself. You won't need to fight for recognition or beg for opportunities. Everything will come to you naturally, organically, as an inevitable consequence of what you've built. Because when you build something solid enough, it eventually becomes too big to ignore. The end of October also marks the end of a cycle of invisibility that has characterized your life for the past few years. You've been working behind the scenes, being the trusted person who makes things happen, while others take the credit, being the foundation that holds structures together without ever being mentioned. But this cycle is ending. You're entering a phase where your contribution becomes visible, where your value is publicly recognized, where you finally receive the credit you've always deserved. For some Tauruses, this will manifest as an unexpected promotion or a job offer that significantly elevates their professional status. For others, it will be recognition of a creative talent they've cultivated privately. For still others, it will be validation of life choices they made even when everyone questioned them. But regardless of the specific form, the feeling will be the same, that the universe is finally rewarding you for all your patience, that your consistent effort is finally producing the kind of results you always knew would come, but that took longer than expected, that your faith in doing things the right way is being rewarded in ways that surpass your wildest expectations. Taurus, one of the hardest things for your sign is waiting. Not because you're impatient by nature, in fact, you're one of the most patient signs of the zodiac, but because when you invest in something, when you put your time, energy, and resources into a project, person, or dream. You expect a tangible return to eventually come. And when that return takes too long, when you keep investing without seeing concrete results, it drains you in ways others don't understand. What you've been experiencing these past few years is exactly this. Investing, 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 without seeing the returns you expected. Continuing to build, even when it seemed like nothing was progressing. Maintaining faith, even when all the evidence suggested you might be wasting your time. And this has created a deep fatigue within you. Not just physical, but emotional and spiritual. The fatigue of continuing to believe when there's no proof that your belief is justified. But the end of October marks the end of this fatigue. It marks the moment when you finally see concrete proof that every step you took was leading you in the right direction. Where you receive the material validation your Taurus spirit needs to feel secure and confident. Where you can finally relax, knowing you made the right choices, even when they were difficult, even when no one supported you, even when you doubted yourself. The convergence occurring at the end of October is also a divine confirmation that your value has always been real, even when it went unrecognized, that your abilities have always been exceptional, even when they were underappreciated, that your contribution has always been significant, even when it was invisible. The universe is finally arranging external reality to reflect the internal truth that has always existed about you. You'll be surprised at how quickly things begin to unfold. After years of slow, almost imperceptible progress, it will suddenly seem like everything is happening so fast. One opportunity after another, one recognition after another, one door opening after another, and you might even feel a little overwhelmed by the intensity of it all after being accustomed to slowness. But this acceleration isn't random. It's the universe compensating time. It's life returning with interest, all the investment you made when there was no guarantee of return. It's the reward for maintaining your integrity, your quality, your commitment to doing things right, even when it was harder and slower. Some of the people who will show up at the end of October bringing opportunities are people who have been watching you for a long time. They noticed your consistency, your reliability, your quality of work, but they weren't in a position to help you before. Now these people have reached positions where they can make a difference in your life, and you will be one of their first choices, because they remember, because the impression you made was lasting, even if you didn't know you were being watched. Other opportunities will come from completely unexpected places, from people you don't even know, but who have heard about you through third parties. From situations that seem like impossible coincidences, but are actually the universe orchestrating encounters that need to happen. From moments where you'll be in the right place at the right time in ways that can only be explained as divine intervention. Taurus, what you need to understand is that the end of October isn't just about receiving good things. It's about entering a new phase of your life where recognizing your worth becomes normal, not exceptional. Where opportunities arrive regularly, not rarely. Where you operate from a position of abundance and choice, not scarcity and need. It's a complete paradigm shift. From someone who had to fight for every opportunity to someone who has opportunities come naturally. From someone who had to constantly prove themselves to someone whose reputation speaks for itself. From someone who was underestimated to someone whose value is obvious to everyone around them. This change didn't happen overnight. It took years of consistent building to get to this point. But now that it's here, it's irreversible. You won't go back to your previous invisibility. You won't go back to being underestimated. You won't go back to having to beg for opportunities you barely deserve. The end of October is the milestone where everything changes, where the before and after of your life clearly divide, where you look back and see all the preparation that was necessary, and where you look forward and see possibilities that once seemed impossible but are now within your reach. Prepare for the intensity of this. Prepare to be surprised by how quickly things will happen. Prepare to have to make important decisions quickly. You, who are used to having all the time in the world to deliberate, prepare to be seen, recognized, elevated in ways you've dreamed of, but that part of you had given up believing would actually happen. But most of all, prepare to finally relax in the knowledge that you did everything right, that your patience was rewarded, that your effort was not wasted, that every brick you laid in your foundation is now supporting a magnificent structure for the whole world to see and admire. Taurus, what will happen to you at the end of October really doesn't happen to anyone else, because no one else has built exactly what you've built. No one else has waited with exactly the same patience. No one else deserves exactly the rewards that are coming your way. This is yours. You earned it. You waited. You built it. And now it's time to reap it. Share in the comments. Declare that you're ready to receive what you've built, that you're open to the opportunities that are coming, that you recognize your own worth and are prepared for the world to recognize it too. Subscribe to the channel, because what happens at the end of October is just the beginning of a new era in your life. You'll need guidance on how to navigate this new level of recognition and opportunity, on how to make wise decisions when multiple doors open at once, on how to maintain your Taurian essence of solidity and quality even when everything around you is accelerating. Turn on notifications so you don't miss content that will prepare you to fully embrace what's coming. The end of October is approaching. Your reward is coming. Everything you've built in silence is about to become impossible to ignore. Get ready. You deserve everything that's coming.